I also want to talk about comparison, because many learners compare themselves to fluent speakers on YouTube or social media. They see confident speakers and think something is wrong with them.
Comparison is one of the biggest confidence killers. Those fluent speakers were beginners once too, but we don't see their early stage. We only see the result, not the struggle, mistakes, or years of practice behind it.
That's why podcasts like this are important. We speak naturally, calmly, and imperfectly, just like real humans. This helps listeners feel comfortable instead of intimidated.
Comfort is very important in learning. When you feel safe, your brain learns faster. When you feel judged or stressed, learning slows down. This is why pressure-based learning often fails.
Let's talk about grammar fear, because many learners stop speaking because they're scared of making mistakes. They want every sentence to be perfect before saying it out loud.
And that perfectionism is a trap. Native speakers make grammar mistakes all the time, but communication still works. Fluency is not about perfection, it's about flow and clarity.
I remember many learners telling me, I know the sentence, but I don't know if it's correct. That pause kills fluency and confidence.
Yes, and instead of asking, is this perfect, learners should ask, is this understandable? If the answer is yes, then speaking is successful.
Another issue is learning too many things at once. Vocabulary lists, grammar rules, pronunciation videos, idioms, phrasal verbs, everything mixed together.
That overload makes learners tired and confused. The brain needs focus. One main goal at a time works much better than trying to master everything simultaneously.
For example, 1 month only focusing on listening and speaking confidence, not grammar perfection.
Exactly. Grammar can come later. First, your mouth needs to feel comfortable producing English sounds without fear.
This brings us to something very important: daily habits. Many learners study English randomly instead of building a routine.
And routine builds trust between you and your brain. When your brain knows that English practice happens every day, even for 10 minutes, resistance becomes weaker.
10 minutes daily is more powerful than 2 hours once a week, because consistency trains muscle memory.
Speaking muscles, listening muscles, and confidence muscles all grow slowly with repetition.
I want to talk about emotions in language learning. People think emotions are separate, but they're deeply connected.
Yes, emotions decide whether learning feels enjoyable or painful. If English is connected to stress, your brain avoids it. If English is connected to calm conversations, your brain welcomes it.
That's why we encourage listeners to listen passively sometimes, without forcing themselves to understand every word.
Passive listening builds familiarity. The sounds become friendly instead of foreign.
Before we move further, I want to say something directly to our listeners. If you feel slow, behind, or embarrassed about your English, it does not mean you are bad at learning languages.
It simply means your learning method needs adjustment, not punishment. Be kind to yourself during this process.
Learning English is not a race. It's a relationship you build over time.
And like any relationship, patience, trust, and consistency matter more than speed.
Let's continue this conversation slowly and deeply, because this episode is about rebuilding confidence, not rushing improvement.
Stay with us, breathe, and just listen. You're exactly where you need to be right now.
Liana, earlier we talked about fear and confidence, but I want to go deeper into something many learners don't like to admit. Sometimes people are not scared of English itself. They're scared of being judged by others when they speak.
That's very true, Harry. Judgment fear is extremely common, especially in countries where speaking English is seen as a sign of intelligence or status. People worry that others will laugh, correct them, or think they're not smart enough.
And that fear often comes from past experiences, like being corrected harshly in school or laughed at by friends. Those moments stay in the mind longer than we realize.
Yes, the brain remembers emotional pain very strongly. So even years later, when someone tries to speak English, the body reacts with tension, dry mouth, or a racing heart.
That physical reaction makes speaking even harder. It's not about vocabulary anymore. It's about survival mode.
Exactly. The body thinks it's in danger even though it's just a conversation. That's why relaxation is a very underrated skill in language learning.
I agree. People focus so much on words, but not enough on breathing, posture, and calmness.
Something very simple can help: slowing down. Many learners try to speak too fast because they think fluency means speed.
But speed without clarity creates more mistakes and more fear.
Right. Speaking slowly gives your brain time to choose words and gives your listener time to understand you.
I always tell learners that slow English is powerful English.
And confident English is not loud English, it's calm English.
Another issue I see is learners waiting for confidence before speaking, but confidence actually comes after speaking, not before.
Yes, confidence is a result, not a requirement. You build it by doing uncomfortable things in small, safe steps.
For example, speaking to yourself in English at home.
Or recording voice notes and listening back without judging yourself.
That's a very effective exercise, even though many people avoid it at first.
Avoidance feels safe, but it keeps you stuck. Gentle exposure helps you move forward.
I want to talk about vocabulary because many learners think they need thousands of words before speaking.
That's a misunderstanding. Daily conversation uses a very small number of common words.
Native speakers reuse simple words again and again.
Fluency comes from combining simple words smoothly, not from using rare vocabulary.
When learners try to use difficult words, they often stop mid-sentence.
And that break kills the flow of communication.
It's better to say something simple than say nothing at all.
Absolutely. Communication is about connection, not performance.
Another thing I want to mention is listening habits. Many learners listen passively, but never actively.
Active listening means noticing how sentences are formed, how speakers pause, and how emotions are expressed.
That's why podcasts are so useful. They expose learners to natural rhythm and tone.
And listening repeatedly to the same episode is more powerful than listening to many different ones only once.
Repetition builds familiarity, and familiarity builds confidence.
Many learners feel bored repeating the same content, but boredom is often a sign that learning is happening quietly.
That's an interesting point. Growth doesn't always feel exciting.
Sometimes it feels neutral, and that's okay.
I also want to address age-related fear. Many adults believe they're too old to learn English well.
That belief is false and harmful. Adults can learn languages very effectively when methods are right.
Adults actually have advantages, like life experience and problem-solving skills.
The real challenge is time and patience, not ability.
That's why short daily practice fits adult lives better than long study sessions.
Learning should support your life, not fight against it.
Let's pause here mentally and remind listeners that progress is not always visible daily.
Sometimes progress shows up weeks later, suddenly and unexpectedly.
You might wake up one day and realize you understood a full conversation.
Or spoke without overthinking.
Those moments are signs that your brain has been working quietly.
Trust the process, even when results feel slow.
Liana, let's talk about motivation, because many learners start strong but slowly lose energy.
Motivation is fragile when it depends only on results. If you expect fast improvement, disappointment comes quickly.
That's why motivation should come from habit, not excitement.
Habits carry you forward even on days when motivation is low.
A simple routine like listening to English while walking or relaxing helps a lot.
Linking English to daily activities removes pressure and increases exposure.
Another problem is learners studying alone without any sense of connection.
Humans learn better when they feel connected to voices and stories.
That's why conversational podcasts create a feeling of companionship.
You don't feel like you're studying, you feel like you're listening to people.
That emotional connection makes learning more natural.
I also want to mention pronunciation fear. Many learners worry about accent.
Accent is not the enemy. Unclear speech is the real problem.
Clear pronunciation with an accent is completely acceptable.
In fact, accents show identity and background.
Trying to erase your accent completely can create tension.
Relaxed speech sounds better than forced perfection.
Pronunciation improves naturally through listening and imitation, not stress.
Shadow speaking is a great tool for this.
Yes, repeating after native speakers builds muscle memory.
But learners should do it gently, not aggressively.
Language is not something you attack, it's something you absorb.
Let's talk about mistakes again, because they deserve a different perspective.
Mistakes are feedback, not failure.
Each mistake shows you what to practice next.
Without mistakes, improvement would stop.
Children learn languages by making thousands of mistakes.
Adults should give themselves the same permission.
Another hidden issue is mental translation.
Translating from your native language slows everything down.
It creates delays and confusion.
Listening a lot helps reduce translation over time.
Thinking in English happens gradually, not instantly.
And forcing it doesn't help.
I want to say something honest to our listeners now.
Go ahead.
You don't need to be perfect to be understood.
You just need to be brave enough to try.
English belongs to everyone who uses it.
Not just native speakers.
Every sentence you speak is a step forward.
Even if it feels small.
If you're listening to this episode, you're already doing something right.
You're showing up.
And showing up consistently changes everything.
Progress comes quietly, then suddenly.
So keep listening.
Keep practicing.
Keep forgiving yourself.
And most importantly, keep speaking.
Thank you for spending this long time with us today.
We truly appreciate your presence and effort.
This is Harry,
And Liana,
reminding you that your English journey is valid.
and you're more capable than you think.